Welcome back, everybody. You are watching Full Spectrum Survival. There are reports going out right now that there's going to be an immigration raid, a huge one that is going to take place across the United States of America. Now, we recently saw that they were using or importing biological agents through one of our universities. The Chinese were actually having their citizens send over biologically harmful products, things that can wipe out our entire crops. But that's just one of the things that they're going after. There's also a big push to get all of the potential tourists that got into this country in a free and open border out of the country before they act on the orders they were given. So we have a woman right here behind me. She is reportedly a spotter. Now, not only are they putting bounties out on the heads of politicians and on people that are in immigration enforcement, there are citizens who are joining this collective to work against a federalization of enforcement. This is a further divide among the people, and it's something that we have to watch pretty closely. Let's go ahead and see how ICE or how immigration kind of matches up with her actions. So here she's a little bit more brazen, doesn't matter, doesn't mind giving ICE the middle finger. And then you see her running red lights. She is trying to get away because she feels like there might be some repercussions for her actions. Law enforcement and federalization of officials gets involved, gets her cornered over there. Suddenly she starts giving the, oh, I didn't mean to do this, I'm doing nothing wrong card. But let me tell you something. If you see SWAT, and SWAT is about to go and take a house, say there's gang members in there, and if you start telling the gang members that SWAT's up the street, they're going to put you in jail for the night. And that's really no different than this division among the American populace of who they will have enforce the laws and then who tries to get in between that enforcement. This was probably one of the most shocking videos that I've seen in the last couple of days. This is a very clear, and you really have to watch this, a very clear explanation. This is an American doctor, been a doctor 40 years, explaining how the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare as it is commonly known, really was just meant to get insurance companies rich.
Where do our health insurance costs go up every year? Can we get 1 year where it's steady, or God forbid they go down? And the reason for that is it was designed that way. There's something called in the Affordable Care Act called the medical loss ratio. The medical loss ratio means that insurance companies must spend between 80 to 85% of all premium dollars on medical services. That means they're limited to...
Now let you get to that point first. If the insurance company is forced under law to spend 80 to 85% of every bit of money, every dollar they take in, what would you do? If you own that company, what would you do? You would spend more money. So if you only have a window of 20% to make your money, now what do? You work with hospitals, you work with the industry, you jack up prices because your 20% of $10 is $2, but your 20% of $1,000 is $200. Now you get up into the billions and they're really making money.
15 to 20% for administrative overhead and profit. So that means that they play a little game. The higher the top line is, the bigger that number is. So now all we did was say, let's charge more each year. If you look each year, the insurance companies' revenues go up every year. The second thing they did to get around that was they started vertically integrating. What's vertical integration? That's when you start buying companies that are not insurance companies, but in similar businesses. So they started buying pharmacy benefit managers, which are middlemen for the drug companies.
You could just start to see a little bit of the scam really laid out for us. And we know, because we're at that point, you can't have a company that is publicly traded or invested heavily in, and you cannot go down in profit. So your only choice is to go up. As soon as you go down in profit, all your investors or stocks and everything, they look somewhere else. So do you think that we're going to get lower prices this year? We can't. It simply won't exist because the manufacturers and the retailers will not willingly take less money. If they do, they're out of business. So their only choice from this point forward is to completely stay steady or to make more money. And I'm betting that they're going to keep making more money, which means our purchasing power is going to continue to get worse. Now, I've told you for a couple of weeks now, the plan of the administration, and this runs directly in line with, do you remember what Project 2025 was? It was kind of a right-sided understanding of the way that America should work. Their goal was to completely revamp health welfare. Their goal was to completely revamp SNAP benefits. And I think that what we just saw with SNAP was just a little bit of a test. Let's listen to what Trump has to say.
Administration.
Can we reform SNAP and these benefits so they're used for the people who really need them?
It's meant for people. And you know what it does is it really puts the country at jeopardy. People that need it have to get it. I'm all for it. But people that are able-bodied can do a job. They leave their job because they figure they can pick this up. It's easier. That's not the purpose of it.
So it looks like they're going to do a complete reset of the entire system where if you're on disability, you're on welfare, you're on SNAP, you're on Section 8 housing, you're getting help with your electricity. They shut everybody down, make you reapply, in which you're going to have to either bring your court or your hours worked or applications put in, or you're not going to get your benefits.
Federal agents here in the Chicago area are on alert tonight, following word they are being targeted by leaders of a major street gang. This comes as Border Patrol agents are attacked by an individual shooter. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin has the story here in Chicago tonight.
So I think that this is really just the beginning. We saw first politicians say that this shouldn't be allowed to happen. They were even in California asking their constituents to get into the streets and obstruct federalization and enforcement. And then we started seeing the actual members of organized criminal outlets saying that they were going to step in. I believe that with Pete Hegseth, our Department of War's director, and Donald Trump each admitting that they were putting together a quick reaction force of National Guard and federalized officials, basically contractors also. They wanted these groups ready to go in every state across our country. And I believe that they will let the fighting start. They'll let the shots get fired. They will swoop in quickly, and we will probably get one of the worst bouts of unrest we've ever seen. Here's a video showing the mass production of humanoid robots. We were speaking recently about how they're going to replace jobs, replace doctors, replace everything. And I think that we can see that's where the money is going. This had music on the background, so I can't play any of the music with it, but you can see that there is a ramping up right now. And this kind of followed this morning's video where we showed some of the robotics that they were moving towards. And they are going to have every crop picked by a robot. Every nursing home, no more nurses, taken over by a robot. They're already building the cars. Did you know the BMWs right now are built by robotics? They have HVAC robots. They have plumbers using artificial intelligence and machines that cut out extra plumbers. So we're just watching, I guess, the replacement of human beings. In the United States of America, piggybacking onto this morning's broadcast, and if you didn't watch that, please go watch that. Almost 13% of credit card balances are now over 90 days delinquent. We're looking at the highest record we have seen since 2011.
I'm sure you know the consumer price index showed grocery prices are up nearly 3% in September from a year ago. Do you dispute that?
Well, let's go through the facts, right? So inflation went up about 5% under President Biden. In President Trump's first 8-9 months, depending when we get the last number, it's up 2.7%. One of the big things that's hurting affordability is mortgages. The interest rate went up by about 4%. No, grocery prices are actually down significantly.
I haven't seen it. If you guys are getting lower grocery prices on the whole buggy, so if you're walking out your buggy and it pays for like it used to back in 2019, please let me know where you're shopping. My family's jumping in the van. We're coming to your grocery store because for me, what used to cost $400 now costs roughly $750. And I think that's pretty well understood across the board. This was some of the extreme snowfall event that took place across the United States of America in the last 48 hours.
think the worst conditions are going to be.
Now remember, guys, you are watching Full Spectrum Survival on YouTube. This is YouTube's original preparedness news or survivalist news channel. And so it's really important that you have a go bag in your vehicle, a first aid kit, and the ability. My brother had just sent me recently a video of a guy who was stuck in sand, and something that he used, which was just his own ingenuity, using a strap and an extra tire to get out of that. You really need to have these things ready because you don't know where something bad's going to happen. It could be on your way to work. It could be walking up to the grocery store, packing away the groceries. How many people watching close their trunk with their 2 bags of groceries and walk them inside, unlock the door, lock the door behind them, put their groceries away, unlock the front door, go out, lock the door behind them, walk to their trunk, open it up? Nobody. What does the American citizen do? They leave the trunk open. They're only focused on getting the groceries inside, and their situational awareness is nowhere to be found. And that's where predators really come in. They are looking for easy prey. So please talk with your friends and family, maybe your grandma, whoever it might be. Let them know that now is not the time to be easy prey. We have to be ready because this world is really getting crazy. Thank you guys for being here with us. If you see a hype button down there, please click it. Make sure you check back tomorrow morning for more information from America and from around the world. From my family to yours, stay safe.